Hey guys, Crypto here with a new video update on Ethereum and Bitcoin. This video update is going to focus mainly on Ethereum. I'm going to talk a little bit about Bitcoin, but I'm going to talk about it in relation to Ethereum because of how it matters for Ethereum. But this video is going to focus on Ethereum and alts. We have some major bullish confirmation that we just got at today's monthly close, and so I want to discuss everything about that. I think exciting times are coming. And you're going to want to be well prepared for this. To start the video off, I'm going to go ahead and play back 3 minutes, just 3 minutes of my last 20-minute video on Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's going to kind of bring you guys up to speed if you never saw that last video. I think it's important to cover this information rather than repeating everything in the new video. I'm just going to go ahead and play the old video, 3 minutes of it. And then once we cover that, it'll bring you guys up to speed with where we are today, and we'll take it on from there. So I'm going to go ahead and play the video now. So here's the Ethereum Bitcoin chart, and on the lower time frames we have this local area of support. Let me go ahead and zoom out. This local area of support that we broke through that should now act as support. Prior resistance we broke through, it should now act as support. This red region, very significant resistance. We've tested it once, we've tested it twice, both times we rejected off of it, and then we had these levels of support that caught our fall, and we've been bouncing off of them. So we're kind of tightening in between key areas of support and a very key area of resistance. I'm going to show you guys where this key area of resistance came from, and you guys are going to see the significance of it right now. We're going to zoom out to the monthly chart, and you can see here beautiful interactions with this area of resistance. This is our breakdown point in early 2018 when Ethereum tanked against Bitcoin, and you can see here that we broke down aggressively, and you can see every monthly close that we've got right up against this resistance, unable to break through, but it's only a matter of time before it breaks. So what I'm looking for now is, I do think that now that we've reclaimed this key level of support, that's a very bullish sign, okay? If we were bearish, I would have expected a rejection here and then a continuation down and break these supports, but rather than that, we reclaimed it, which is a bullish sign. So, and again, Ethereum's in price discovery, so it does make sense that Ethereum Bitcoin is looking bullish. Now, we need to get a break above this red region, and it's going to take a monthly close to confirm that. You can see, if we don't wait for the monthly close, you can get a fake out. You can see here on this monthly candle, we broke through. Some people who didn't wait for the monthly close might have thought, hey, we broke through, let's go. And then we got wicked all the way back down, and then we dropped, right? Again here, pushed up, didn't make it, pushed up, wicked down, and dropped. So we're looking for a monthly close above 0.077 on the Ethereum Bitcoin chart to be confident that we've broken through. Once we do that, Ethereum will absolutely take off and altcoins will follow right behind. So we're at a very key point where, again, if Bitcoin decides to relax a little bit and range, Ethereum could continue to pump to the upside, sending Ethereum BTC above this area of resistance and confirming a breakout and confirming alt season essentially. Now, if Bitcoin decides to ramp up and just blast through 70,000, then we may lose this support, in which case we come back down to these areas of support and may fall further down to this level here, okay? Now, I don't think that's going to happen. That would be a very drastic drop. The only situation in which I see that happening again is if Bitcoin absolutely rips the top off of 60, 70K and heads for that 100,000 level now. Again, I don't see that happening just yet. So more likely to me is that we hold this level and that we push up. That means that alts are going to be performing well. And if that happens, it means that Bitcoin is probably moving sideways or chopping about in a range, okay? So with that said, again, I lean towards those two scenarios that I showed you guys earlier, either a break above this area here, and then some sort of a pullback, either back to this level here or potentially all the way down here, or I lean towards a rejection here right now and then a move down. One of those two scenarios to me seems the most likely. I don't know which one we're going to get, and I may be completely wrong. We may just rip through, okay? But either way, I think alts are looking really good right now, and if Bitcoin can just move sideways for a little bit, we're really going to enjoy the gains from our alts. That's it for this Bitcoin video update, guys. It was a little bit shorter. All right, guys, so that was my video update that I posted about 3 weeks ago. And again, focus on the Ethereum Bitcoin charts that I just showed in this video and the projected path of Bitcoin on this video. Let's fast forward till today and then take a look at where we are now and what I think is going to be coming up. All right, guys, so here's Bitcoin today, and you can see that we essentially follow the path marked off in my video. These were the prior highs that I discussed in the last video. This was the fake out above the highs that I discussed in the last video, and this was a subsequent drop down after the fake out that I discussed in the last video. If we go ahead and zoom out to the weekly time frame, because that's the time frame that I was looking at in the last video, you can see here that our weekly support level, the same one that I marked off as probably a local bottom for Bitcoin, if we did get a subskin drop, is where we are right now. And we actually held that weekly. We wicked below it, but that's fine. We held the weekly level thus far. So zooming back in, you can see that we actually pushed down, cleared the highs, faked out, pushed back down to the weekly support, which is currently holding. All right. So Bitcoin pretty much followed the path that I was expecting it to. As it stands now, my expectations for Bitcoin, let's go over those a little bit, and then we'll go on to Ethereum. But the reason I'm talking about Bitcoin here is because what Bitcoin does while Ethereum is doing what it does is important, and all kind of ties in together. So it's important to understand the expectations here, right? So Bitcoin has moved down, and if you follow me on Twitter, you'll know that I said I expect a bottom for this correction that essentially started here back in October, that lasted for it's been a little over a month now. I said I expect the bottom of this correction to occur between 50 to 55K. And you can see here that we tapped $53,000. We've now gotten a little move to the upside. Again, if you follow me on Twitter, you know that I was expecting a little dip from here and then a continuation to take these highs and push up to 62 to 63K. That is the current path that I expect for Bitcoin. Now, zooming out a little bit, and I talked about this in my last video, which is not the one that I just showed you, but one that I made a couple weeks after that, or a week or so after that. And I talked about the macro on Bitcoin and why I believe that we still have our major run up past 100,000 that will happen, rather than this being the local top, or rather than this being the local top, or rather than the $70,000 to $80,000 regions being a local top. And in that video, I made the argument for what I believe we are forming here as a running flat correction. And again, in this situation, we would have a drop down. We'd make a higher low above these lows at 30K. And then from there, we would continue on to $100,000 plus. So how does where we are now fit into that? Well, in the lower time frames, I still believe that this is some sort of a major wave forward that we're working on. I don't believe that we've actually completed the correction yet. So there's a lot that believe that this was our local low, and that once we break the highs here at 69,000, we're then headed to 100,000 plus. And I still think that we can very easily get another fake out to the upside here, and then get a drop to complete this flat correction before we actually start our fifth major wave. And again, you'll recall that I've talked about how the more that Bitcoin kind of goes sideways and ranges, the better it is for our alts. So a move like this, while it looks quite scary, again, is generally going to be good for our alts. Our alts will run on the way up here. They might take a hit as Bitcoin drops here. Hopefully they run a little bit more as Bitcoin chops around the middle. And then once Bitcoin bottoms out, our alts should react favorably as well. Point being, though, is that I think that Bitcoin could stay in this ranging environment for weeks or months to come, and that we won't necessarily see a break of 100,000 within the next few weeks or within the next month or two. Again, generally this is good for alts, and we'll go back to Ethereum here in a second, but this is kind of the path that I expect Bitcoin to take going forward. Again, there's a key level in between all of this, right around $62,000 to $63,000. Okay, so that's also a very important level here. And Bitcoin could also go up to that $62,000 to $63,000 region. Let me go ahead and fix that here. Actually, it's a little bit higher here. So Bitcoin could actually go up to this region and then reject and then come back down. So something like this, a push up here and then a rejection and then a move back down. Something like that is also possible. In other words, I don't think that the down leg of this flat correction is quite yet complete, and maybe we're still working on the B leg up. Again, if this is a flat, you have a B, and a C, right? So maybe we're still working on this larger B leg, and so maybe we do put in a higher high and then come down for the C, or maybe we're already working on the C, we're going to put in a lower high and come down for it. Either way, I do think that we'll be seeing upside generally in the next days or weeks up to 62 to 63,000, and then if we break that, I'm looking for a higher high, but not necessarily a massive breakout to 100K plus. In general, though, I think Bitcoin, the local lows are in, and I'm looking for upside here. So now let's go ahead, and now that we've established that it's likely that Bitcoin probably ranges in the coming months, let's go ahead and take a look at what this means for Ethereum. So guys, this is the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. You may recognize this from my last video. This is the exact same level that I said I would expect to flip to support, and that would then allow us to break through our monthly supply and push to the upside. You can see that ever since I made that video, we did just that. This level acted as support. We broke through our monthly supply, and we're now pushing to the upside. I also talked about how it doesn't matter if we get above this level unless we get a monthly close above this level. We saw prior instances where we pushed up at this level and then immediately saw a rejection and a drop back down, failing to get any significant closes above the red region. Let's go ahead and zoom out and take a look at where we are now. All right, guys, so this is the monthly chart, and today we just had our monthly close, and guys, we have it right there, a final official break through our monthly region of supply and a close above it. All right, this is the first break above our monthly level in 8 months. We've been consolidating below this level for 8 months. Again, consolidation precedes expansion. Now that we've broken out, I expect expansion to the upside on Ethereum, Bitcoin, pushing up quite significantly, from 60 to 100% to the upside. This red region, the prior region of supply, should now act as a region of support, meaning that if we are to dip down here, we would expect to find support in the green region and then continue back to the upside to continue this breakout. Expecting a very aggressive move for Ethereum here in the coming weeks to months, and that generally bodes well for alts across the board. Again, when Bitcoin is ranging, alts tend to do well. While Bitcoin is ranging, if Ethereum is breaking out, alts should do extremely well. Let's go ahead and take a look at the chart that I shared. Again, this is from my video I talked about. That is the same level that we're looking at here that we officially broke above and are now pushing up aggressively on. Let's go ahead and take another look at how we identified this level, some tips and tricks for you guys. If you follow me on Twitter, again, I talked about using heat maps to identify potential local bottoms. Again, in this particular post, I talked about a stack of orders on Bitfinex that marked our local bottom on Ethereum, USD. And I talked about if Bitcoin goes for a final swing down into the 50 to 55K region, then Ethereum may make one more lower low where the Phoenix whale is waiting to buy at 3,900-ish. This is the chart that I shared at the time. I pointed out that we had a local bottom here as Ethereum pushed up, and that if Bitcoin were to make one more swing down to 50 to 55K, again, at this time Bitcoin is trading around 56K, I was looking at this area right here at 3,900, this order of the stack of orders to act as support on the way down and potentially mark our next local bottom. You can see if we fast forward till today, that is exactly what happened. This is that same level that we looked at on this chart here, right here. And you can see that price wicked down, selling was absorbed, and then we reversed off of that level. We've now pushed back to the upside. Ethereum USD has now cleared our major area of resistance. Ethereum Bitcoin has broken our major area of supply. In other words, guys, Ethereum right now is extremely bullish, all right? We're pushing up here. I expect that Ethereum goes on to break to new all-time highs here shortly, and that Ethereum ascends to the upside rather rapidly. I expect alts to generally follow. They may lag a bit as Ethereum steals the show, the same way that the general market lags when Bitcoin steals the show. But after Ethereum does make a major breakout and starts cooling off, I expect most of our alts to follow, guys. I do believe that we're about to see another major alt season. We're going to see multiples of alt seasons throughout the year. You can argue that we've already seen some alt seasons. Many alts have had spectacular gains, but I think that the best is yet to come. And with Ethereum officially breaking out of a month of a key area of supply after 8 months of consolidation, I think we're about to see one of those times where we get what one can argue is a major alt season across the board. So guys, this is very, very exciting. Keep an eye on this level, mark it off in your charts. As long as it acts as support, I am extremely bullish on Ethereum and alts in general. That's it for this video update, guys. As always, if you guys have any questions, feel free